Hello? Hello?
Please.
What's the problem? What's the matter? What happened? Hello?
Please, get me out of here, Lee.
Hello?
You're being sarcastic about this. You were part of this all along.
Shannon then ran from Brewer's house at 8 the Fairway to Gus Coletti's house.
So before this lieutenant narrates a little bit more of this, I want you guys to pay attention to what she says here. You are a part of this all along. And she says, why are you trying to kill me? Are you trying to kill me? This is telling. And, you know, these two, when they were interviewed, Michael Pack, the driver / bodyguard, and Joseph Brewer, they basically said to the police she was on drugs and she freaked out. She went into this crazy delusional rant. She didn't sound delusional at all to me. You know, they were laughing at her and she was like, you knew about this all along. You were a part of this all along. We hear so much from former sex workers. The girl Nikki Brass, who talks about Rex Heuermann and the date that she had in Port Jeff, she says, I have a sense. I have this spidey sense, so to speak. They know when shit's hitting the fan. They know when there's something that's not right. And she knew when Pack, the driver, who knows the code, he knows the code. You don't give up the prostitute's first and last name. And he was saying Shannon Gilbert in front of the John, Joseph Brewer. That was the first thing that Shannon was like freaked out about. She was like, why are you saying my name? Why are you saying my real name? And the rest of it went to shit after that. Now she goes and runs for her life. And as we hear from Coletti, Gus Coletti, who's at 17 the Fairway, Gus Coletti says it's a 14-year-old girl and she looks like she's in big, deep trouble. He calls 911. But he says it's some guy following her with a black SUV. That's Pack. He was following her. And this guy Coletti, no matter what anybody thinks of him, because I don't know much about him, he gave telling information that this girl is in danger and there's somebody following her. If Michael Pack felt that she was delusional and that she was crazy, he would just got in his car and drove off. Now, I know it's about the money and getting paid and all of this stuff, but Pack being cleared and Brewer being cleared is bullshit. And this is all during the reason I'm saying it's bullshit is because this is all during the era of James Burke. James Burke, the scumbag that he was and how dirty he was and how he was involved with prostitutes, he didn't want any of this to come out. All of those guys, those perverts in that Oak Island Association, not saying everybody in there, okay? Shout out to the Oak Island Association. There's probably lots of really good people in there. But these little bands of perverted men who were calling up prostitutes and getting them to come to their cushy homes in Oak Island and Oak Beach, they all didn't want to be exposed, just like James Burke. And James Burke was a frequenter of Oak Island Association and the parties and getting the girls to come out there. Because why? It was in the middle of nowhere and there's no record of it. So let me know if you're with me on this. Putting a 1 in the chat if you're with me. Put a 2 if you think I'm off. But after further review of this, I don't think, this is my opinion, I don't think that it's far-fetched to say that James Burke, Pack, Brewer, Dr. Hackett, and all these other scumbags didn't want this out there. And this all happened in 2010. Don't forget, 2012, Burke became the highest ranking uniformed member of Suffolk County's police department. But guess what? In 2010, he was pretty close to that highest rank. He was probably an inspector or close to being chief. So Burke was high up on the totem pole and had a lot of power to say, hey, let's squash this. This is just a sex worker. This is just a prostitute that is missing. We don't know where she is. Let's not investigate this.